Hi everybody, my name is Hannah and this is Pepper and Pine, and today I have a huge homeschool haul to share with you. These materials are all from achildsdream.com, and you can find more information about that vendor down in the description box below. Now, if some of these materials look familiar, it's because you've probably seen them in a previous homeschool haul, and you have probably seen them in a lot of the videos that I have here on my channel. We use these materials often. In fact, I have been shopping at A Child's Dream for about 10 years now. We go through these materials, we make wonderful things for our homeschool, and then the best part is we get to come back and order new things. So today I want to show you some things that probably look familiar, as well as some new things for us. And as a bonus, I also want to share with you how we decide what to order and how we like some of these materials. Since some of these are things that we've already used for a while, I can actually tell you how we are using them in our homeschool currently. So I've unpacked the first box and I'm really excited to show you these materials. Some things are new to us and other things are old favorites. So I'm going to start with the old favorites really quickly. I know that you've seen these before if you have watched any of my videos. These are the peg dolls. We got the large ones, we got the small ones, we got the tiny ones, we got the bunting baby ones, and we got the mommy ones. I want to show you the sizes really quickly. You've got the large one, you have this cone-shaped one, you have a small one, you have this super tiny one, and you have this little bunting baby one. This one is adorable. I love it. Also, you can find the finger puppet bases, and these ones have a hole here, and what I like about these is that they're a little bit taller than the peg doll base, and also I like the shape a little bit better. So these peg dolls you can find at a number of vendors, but the finger puppet bases, I think I've only seen them at A Child's Dream. Something else that you're probably not going to find at a lot of different vendors are these adorable little peg doll bases that are pre-drilled so that you can put the pipe cleaners in them. And by the way, these pipe cleaners are made with cotton. And then at the end of the pipe cleaner, you can add this little bead here for the arm. And I also have tutorials on how to make these if you are interested. And I also have a video on how we use it in our homeschool, because I know that that has come up a lot of how we actually use these different materials in our homeschool. And so I have also a couple of videos like that. And recently we used our supplies extensively with our peg dolls in order to make our calendar peg dolls and our ABC peg dolls. All right, so let me put those aside and show you something that's brand new to us. This book is called Hand Embroidery, and this is Stitches at a Glance. And since we're doing a lot more stitching this year, I thought that this book would come in handy since we really only know about 3 stitches. So I am really excited to have this as well. All right, something else that's new to us are these plant-dyed silks. These are small and unhemmed. So these are 9 inches by 9 inches, and they are also unhemmed, which means I would highly recommend hemming these, because if you don't, they will just kind of come apart. And these are tiny, and I got these for my daughter for her peg dolls and for other pretend play for her pretend play. And also because I thought these, since they're small and they're not like the large silks that are a little bit more pricey, actually a lot pricier, these ones we could actually, if we needed to, use these as materials for making our dolls and our peg dolls. But they are so beautiful. You can just see the colors are just magnificent, and they're plant dyed, which is really cool. So they come in this beautiful rainbow. And it was pretty affordably priced for all 6 of these compared to the large ones. Okay, so let me put these aside and show you something else that we got. Actually, where's the other one? There's another one in here. I want to show you. Look, all of these things. Okay, here it is. These ones were in a previous haul. And for the life of me, I cannot remember where we put them. And we've been doing a lot of needle felting this year. And my kids have been hesitant to do it because the needles are very sharp. And so having a finger guard will make it so much better if you are trying to introduce needle felting to your children, because like no matter what, on every one of our projects before we had these, we would prick ourselves at least once. Now we got these, we used them once, And I don't know what happened to them. I was so irritated by not being able to find them. So I had to order them again. But then when I ordered them, I decided to also try the leather ones that they carry. These ones seemed a little bit smaller and they might fit my children better. And so I have two in the medium size. Here's the thing though, you do need two of them when you're needle felting, because when you're holding your project, you've got two fingers that are exposed to the needle. So that's just a tip. We also got some embroidery needles. These ones are the eye is a little bit smaller than the previous ones that we got. And I showed you these already. And something else for our needle felting. This is a needle punch, a felting needle punch. This is new for us. And I saw this on Snowflake Forest on her channel, and she does amazing needle felting projects, and so I thought that we would give this a try as well. Now we're all newbies when it comes to needle felting around here, but I thought with the right tools we might find the whole process a little bit easier. So inside this tool are the felting needles. I'm going to show you them. This is a really just fantastic. It's going to protect them, and also it's going to keep them from, it's going to protect you and also protect the needles, because the points are very delicate, I guess, depending on the type of needle you get. Some of them will break really easily and others are a little bit more durable depending on the size. And so you actually have these 5, you probably can't see that, but you have these 5 holes here. I believe this is how you insert it. And so you'll have all 5 of them out, and then you can screw this piece back on. And that way, when you're needle felting, you've got 5 needles going at your project rather than 1. So it should cut down on the time. Now, I needle felt a little different than most places I've seen. I actually just pricked myself. For most people that I've seen, most of the time you'll find needle felted projects that are felted like a lot. And this is a book that we recently got that we haven't used yet, but it's going to be inspiration for a lot of the projects that we are going to do. But if you see these needle felted projects, these are felted, or rather they're really condensed. And when I do my projects, they're usually really full and kind of not over needle felted. I'm sorry, I don't know the terminology very well, but that's just a style that I have. I mean, I just wanted to mention that. And it cuts down on the time it takes to actually do a project, because you're not felting it down till it's really tight and dense. So this is going to help us along with those projects, as well as those finger guards, so that it's a little bit easier for us to do our projects. All right, so let's move on to the books. Now, the reason why we got the Tale of Limindoor Woods is because we already had book number 1, and we are reading this currently during our winter themed unit. My 11-year-old read this in like 2 days, so he is excited to get his hands on the book 2 and 3. Now, it just occurred to me that the author Siglindi de Francesca also wrote Coloring with Block Crayons, and there's a DVD that goes to this, and this has been a fantastic resource that we've been using. We bought this a while ago, but I just made the connection that it is the same author, which is just fantastic. Oh, you can't see her. There she is. Anyway, so we already had book 1, so we went ahead and got book 2 and 3. This is Gnomes and Friends, Tales of Limindoor Woods, and the Gnomes Rosetta. We also got a Donzi of Gnomes by the same author. And then we got The Lost Lagoon by Reg Down. And this will be another read aloud for my 6-year-old primarily, but my 11-year-old will be joining us for a lot of these as well. And Treasure Cave by the same author. We also previously got a book on the ABCs by the same author, and we are going to be using that later this year as well. And that was in a previous haul. The other books that we got were, let me show you this one first, Pippa and Pelly in the Winter Snow. We have the other one in this series, and my daughter loves it. I know it's a board book, so it's more like maybe preschool or toddler, but she loves it. The story is cute and it's quick, and so we went ahead and got this one for our winter unit. And then we also got Pip the Gnome. This is by a different author, but it's kind of a cute little board book, and it's a quick read, and she's still into these kinds of books, and so that's why I went ahead and got it. But I think it's probably more suited for, like, say, toddler preschool age. King Red and the White Snow and Other Tales for Children. This is also by Regdown, and this is new for us, and so we're excited to add this to our homeschool library. And then I think that's all for those kinds of books. So this one is called So Soft Toys, and this, I totally wish I had this before we started our ocean main lesson block, because there is an adorable little seal in here. Let me get to it. It comes with all the patterns. This is fabulous. Look at how cute that little seal is. And we did a number of stitching projects for that unit, but they're mostly, they appear two-dimensional. They're not three-dimensional the way a stuffed animal is. And so I'm linking those videos down below. We made a sea star and a seahorse, and then we also knitted an octopus. But this I'm really excited about. You can see these are the kind of toys that your children would love to play with, and it's a big deal to make them both the parent for the children and then the children as they get older for them to also make them themselves. I know that if you were in a Waldorf school, you wouldn't be using a pattern. To the best of my knowledge, the child would create that on his or her own. So that's kind of a cool thing too. And so we're going to be doing a lot of these animals out of the felt. I'm going to show you that in a minute. We got a ton of felt, and we're going to be using that felt to make some of these little animals. All right, and here is some of the felt, but I'm going to put that aside for 1 minute, and I want to show you the Lyra watercolor paints. But I want to first show you our old set. And this is the set that we used a lot recently when we were doing our ocean main lesson block, as well as when we were doing our peg dolls. And this is the set that my daughter has been using a lot as well. And so this is what's happened. And I think you can buy these individually, but I'm actually not sure because I haven't really looked for them a lot. But these little things come out, so you can move them around. Here's the thing, is you can see the colors that my daughter used versus the colors that we use for our projects. And you can see the gray here, ours is like nearly done. But hers, I think this is her gray is still totally filled. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through and trade out the ones that like this one I know that we'll use, and this one I think she barely used, and ours is almost done. Just because she'll end up using different colors than we end up using for the projects that my son, who is 11, is doing, and then also for our peg dolls. And so I was ready to order her a new set. She's not likely to use these ones up, and she needed more of these colors. And so we went ahead and got a new set. I want to show you the new set because this one just looks ragged and it doesn't look that inspiring, but for us, we still use them. You could certainly clean them up, but it's not a problem at all. And if you want to clean them up to use them, which I highly advise that you do every once in a while, otherwise when you're watercoloring, you're going to get your colors kind of all mixed in. And that's a natural process that we end up doing. We will end up mixing the colors, and I know you can mix them here, but sometimes we end up mixing them right inside the color palette, and then, you know, they need to be cleaned out every once in a while. These are beautiful. We've really enjoyed them. These are opaque watercolors. They come with not that great of a paintbrush, actually. We never use this one. We always just use our own set. And then it comes also with the white opaque paint as well, which, by the way, I always remove this when I give my children their color set, because this will definitely stain. And these ones, you can wash them out a little bit easier. They may still stain, but this stuff, you do not want this getting on the carpet. And they end up squeezing like half the tube out and totally wasting it. So I take this out first, and I just hand them the whole set, and then I will use this on a more sparing basis as necessary. All right, I also want to show you the watercolor pencils. Watercolor pencils? No, these are brushes for watercoloring. This set is new to me. This is from a child's dream, obviously. But this set is new. They seem really nice. But let me show you really quickly. I'll be able to tell you more about these by the end of the year. But I want to show you something. several years ago, we bought a set of brushes from a local craft store. These are from Michael's. And this whole little set had just these paint brushes in the whole thing. And it was only about $5, and I used a coupon. So I think I paid like $3 for this whole thing. And to be honest, I bought this not for the paintbrushes, but for the paintbrush case. And what I did was I removed all of these paintbrushes and I filled them with my really expensive paintbrushes. And guess what? We like these better than the really expensive ones. And these ones were really expensive. Like each one was several dollars versus getting the entire set for just a couple of dollars. And so since we liked these kind of simple set so much better, I thought I would try out the simple set from A Child's Dream and see how they compare to the ones that we already have. And I know with the really expensive ones, my kids will still use them. And what ended up happening was I would use the cheapy ones so they could use the nice ones. And I ended up really liking the cheapy ones a lot. And then my kids ended up using them as well. They've held their shape really well versus these ones that just seem to not. And I can't tell you much about the materials. I know I'm fairly certain these are all natural materials, and I'm pretty sure these are too. So I wish I could tell you more about them. The reason why I'm showing you these is because you might feel like, oh, I need the expensive stuff all the time in order to do this, and you don't. And this is evidence that you can get a really simple set. But please don't use the super cheapy ones, like the ones that come in like the 50-cent watercolor sets, like and they're tiny, tiny, tiny. Please avoid those. And if you're working with young children, I also recommend that you use the larger paint brushes that are fuller, especially when you're doing your wet on wet watercolor coloring. Don't use the really small ones. My children are between the ages of 6 and 19, and so you will end up using these finer brush tips as the children get older. It's not for kindergarten and first grade. So let me put these aside. I just wanted to tell you that sometimes you can find really, really good materials at an affordable cost. And these ones, by the way, are Sable and Camel. Oh, that's good. And also tells you, oh, this is fantastic information. It tells you some details about each one and how to use them and how to clean them, which is all very good information. All right, what are we going to do next? Oh, I have one more book to show you, actually. This one's called Tell Me a Story. These are stories from the Waldorf Early Childhood Association of North America. And what's fantastic is that I'm looking for more stories to tell my children, and they don't always have to be fairy tales. And mostly the storytelling in Waldorf is that you are telling the story, you're not reading the story. But what I've noticed sometimes is that things are written in such a fabulous way. If you don't have time to pre-read it and then tell the story to your child, just go ahead and read it. It's a little tip. I am really excited about this. This is going to be part of probably the tail end of our winter unit and definitely our spring unit, because I've already collected stories for our winter unit. So this will definitely be used this year, and I can tell you about it later at the end of the year. All right, so next I want to show you a lot of the handwork materials that we got. No, I'm sorry. I want to show you one more thing first. I want to show you the stockmar watercolors. Since I showed you the paintbrushes, I want to show you the watercolors that we use. This is to replenish our supplies. We still have these, but we have been using them down quite a bit. We do a lot of watercoloring, and my daughter too, she has done more watercoloring than all three of my boys combined. And this is something that I want to have accessible to her, so that on a daily basis, when I'm working with my other children, she's got something to do. So I have recently redone a part of our schoolroom so that she can access her watercolors and her paper and her paintbrushes really easily and just work right on the table alongside with us. One thing that I want to tell you about with watercolors that I learned recently that for years I was doing wrong is that when you are mixing these the paint with water, you want to just mix enough that you're going to use within, I would say, maybe 2 weeks. You maybe don't want to leave them for much longer. I used to mix a large container, probably like that size and round. Gosh, I don't even have one handy to show you right now. And And then after we were done doing our watercoloring for that day, I would just screw on the lid and I would just put them back in the cabinet and pull them out whenever we did it again. Now for years, my boys, I had 3 boys for many years of our parenting life before I got my daughter. And the boys weren't as interested in doing watercoloring as a free time activity. So we would only really do it as part of our homeschool activity. So what would end up happening is that our watercolors would start to smell, and what I learned is that I was introducing mold into the watercolor because the water itself could contain some mold in it, and then it would smell horrible, like rotten eggs. I mean, it was horrible. It was a horrible smell, and I didn't know that. So I'm just passing on that tip. When you are mixing these, number one, try to avoid getting water into your supply, and then when you are mixing it with water to do your watercoloring, try to only mix as much as you're going to need for, I would say, 2 weeks to a month is probably good enough. I can't say for sure, but that is just a little tip here. All right, so let's move on to these felt samples here. This is new to me. I have never used these before. I had a pair of scissors here. Where did that go? I lost my scissors, but I know that I had them. Here they are. I want to show you these because I have always purchased the Holland Felt, which is this felt here, and it is pretty thin. It's 100% wool, comes in gorgeous colors. I absolutely love it. But there are a number of other options available at A Child's Dream. This one is called Rustic Wool Felt. This is the color Kiwi, and it comes in these sheets. I think this is 12 by 12, but I don't know, but I can measure that for you. Yeah, so 12 by 12 sheets. This is also considerably thicker. I want to say this is 3 millimeters, but I can't say for sure. And it's really thick. It's really beautiful. Now, I don't have immediate plans for what we want to do with these, but I thought that these would make great landscapes for when my children are playing with their different peg dolls and other things. And then the thicker material I think will be nice for some of the stitching work that we want to do. But again, I wanted to share with you that there are different options. These are probably the priciest ones I got so far for wool felt, but they are also the largest. So these are $4.19 for these pieces, whereas the felt sheets, actually let me pull these ones. The felt sheets are 8 inches by 12 inches, and they run you about $3, maybe $2.80. I actually can't remember exactly. So let me just show you these ones here. I got a lot of these colors because we used up our supplies of these colors for some recent projects that we did during our Ocean main lesson block. And so I went ahead and I stocked up on these colors because they were so beautiful and we're down to our scraps. So that's why I got these ones. And then let me put these ones aside. And since I already showed you this one here, let me just go ahead and grab the other ones. These are the pre-selected packs, and this is the autumn set, and I love this one so much. We got this one at the beginning of the school year. We did a number of projects with these, and so I am just replenishing our supply. We're not done with that pack at all. This is the winter pack, and it is just beautiful. You might have seen this in a recent haul of mine. And then this one is the spring pack, and we have never gotten the spring pack before. The colors do look a little bit different in person than they do online, and I have to say they look far better in person than online. I have skipped over this one so many times because online the colors look a little bit more, I'm going to say neon, but they are absolutely not neon, but they for me felt more neon than they look in real life, and I love these. I'm so glad that I got these. I also want to show you the summer pack. So this is what I have left of the summer pack. These are all the colors, but I don't have the whole sheets anymore because we have used these ones, and these ones are also really beautiful. This is not my first choice when it comes to felt colors, but my daughter, who is 6, loves these colors. These are the ones that she would go for first. All right, let me show you some of the felting. Oh, you know what? No, let me show you something else first. We're all over the place. Oopsies. I also got this here. This one's a large sheet. I don't know the size, probably 18 by 12 inches here. This is 100% merino wool. This is pre-felt, and this is really soft. It's way more stretchy. You may not be able to see that on the camera, but it's also a lot, it looks thinner, it just looks denser, it looks like the light can go through a little bit more. I admit, I don't know what this is for, so I am going to find out why there's a product for it called pre-felt and what it's used for. So that is, stay tuned for that. And then a couple more colors here of that felt and these beautiful colors, spring colors. All right, we have more wool. We've got a theme going on here. We got these at the beginning of the year. These ones, this wool is a little bit more coarse in texture than the merino wool top that we got. Let me open this up for you and show you. And I don't think I got any wool top. Maybe I did. I'm not sure. So there are different uses for the different wools. It's not that one is better than the other. This one is a little bit coarser, but it's used for different projects than the softer merino wool top. And if you check the description box below, you can find a lot of information that Debbie over at A Child's Dream shared with me about the different types of wool, because for some recent wet felting projects, I only had what I thought was the expensive kind that you would only want to use sparingly for like really special projects. And I used that for a wet felting project, and I felt really bad for using kind of a more expensive product for that project. But then she just told me there's just lots of different uses for the different wools, and you have to know which project you're doing and what kind of wool is going to work best for that project. So I have these beautiful spring colors here, and we also have these ones. What I realized was when we were ordering our wool, we were ordering all these really beautiful colors, you know, the pinks and the purples and the turquoises, and then we got ready to do our projects like these kind, and we didn't have any of the colors because we didn't buy the browns and the tans and the neutrals. And so I went ahead and got this so that we could do more of these projects with these colors. This is a new product for me, and I have to say that these are on clearance, if I'm not mistaken, at A Child's Dream. So I'm not sure if they are going to be restocked or if they're being discontinued, but they are gorgeous. They are beautiful. Let me pull out this one too so you can see it. You get a lot with this one, and I want to say that the price was pretty good, but I can't remember right now. These, look at just, oh my goodness, that is so gorgeous. I don't know what we're going to make with this one, but I thought this one would be great for a multicolored pumpkin. So we're going to save this one for next fall, and we're going to pull that out with our fall themed unit. Look at how gorgeous this is. And also remember that you're not using this for your entire project. You're starting with a base of undyed wool, and then you're just using this sparingly at the very end of your project. Anyway, these are amazing, and I can't wait to use these. All right, I should have showed you this with our peg dolls. This is a new product for us, and we have never sealed our peg dolls before. And this one my daughter made using the Lyra watercolors, but it's watercolors. So if you're handling this with really sweaty hands, or your child puts it in his or her mouth, then some of the paint could come off. And so this is a natural product that you can use to seal it. It's not going to be, I mean, I don't know. I haven't ever used it, so I can't tell you for sure if it's going to seal it completely. I'm guessing that it could probably wear down more than a sealant that you know, one that's not natural. This smells amazing. Okay, this is lemon lavender. It's awesome. And you would use this. I don't know how to use it yet. It's kind of a fairly warm day, so it's, oh, that is great. Look at that. You can kind of see that sheen there. That's beautiful. All right, let me show you this at the end of the video, and let's see if there's still that beautiful sheen to it. That's gorgeous. Oh, I love that. That's really nice. Oh, my kids are gonna love doing this. Oh, I didn't read the directions, obviously, because, you know, that's a problem of mine. So you put a dime size dollop on a cloth. Oh no, or you could directly do it onto the surface and rub well and let it dry and buff it, and it's going to be beautiful. Oh, this is awesome. I am so glad. And you know, the reason why I got this is because some of you had asked about how we seal our peg dolls, and I said I don't seal them. And I haven't ever had the need to, primarily because for so many years we did finger puppets and we had them with the felt, and we didn't paint them, and so I never really needed to do any kind of sealant to them. And then when we started doing our peg dolls about 2 years ago, my children are older. I don't have children that are putting things in their mouth, and so it just didn't seem like I needed to do that, but you guys have asked, and so I can tell you about this after I use it more. All right, we are going to move on to a couple other things here. I want to this is brand new to us. I am super excited about this. We have never used these items before. I've never, oh my goodness, I'm so excited about them. They are the super-sized peg dolls. Check these out. These are enormous. We only got 3 of each, and they are considerably larger than the other one. All right, so let me just pull these out. I've got a whole stack of stuff going on off camera. Wow, these are super large compared to the other ones. Let me tell you the size really quickly. The size for the small ones are just about 2 inches, and these large ones are about 3.5 inches. So these are super big. And to be honest, I actually really like the small ones better. I really don't care for the large ones. However, the reason why I got them is because for our winter nature table, I wanted to do a Papa and a Mama winter peg doll, and I wanted them just to kind of like oversee our winter nature table. And so I thought these ones would look good that way. And then, so I only intended to buy 1 of each, and then my children wanted them too. So that's why we got 3, because they're going to make their own projects. All right, so I want to show you these 3 kits here. These are by Threadfollower, and this is not the first time we have ordered kits like this. We ordered the Brontosaurus kit and the White Rabbit kit about a year ago, and we really enjoy these. I have tutorials on how we did these. The dinosaur kit, we liked it so much. My son, who at the time was 10, ended up stitching about 8 of these. Now you can squeeze almost 2 projects out of this kit, but once you have the pattern, if you have more felt, you can make as many as you'd like. We also made the White Rabbit, which was okay. Like, I didn't like it as much as the Brontosaurus kit, and it's not played with as much as this one. This one, however, is a great beginner project. This one is super easy to make, and it's really satisfying to make since it goes by a lot quicker than this one, which I think is more of an intermediate kit. And then I believe that this one is an advanced kit, because look at all of that detail. I'm really excited about this one. Now, I confess, my 6-year-old put these 3 into the cart. She added these ones in here so that we could make these. This is too complicated for her to make. This one is for ages 8 and above, but I think that if your child is 8, then you will probably need to help him or her. And then there's this one here. This is the Bird in Flight kit, and then this is the Fox. And if you follow Cynthia Treen on Instagram, you can see her creations in these cute little vignettes. It's gorgeous, these little scenes that she makes for the little projects. It's just really delightful. So anyway, look for more tutorials on these. We have enjoyed them in the past, and I'm excited about these ones. This is new for us. I am super excited about this. It's a scrap bag. I don't know what's inside. My daughter opened it up, and I told her, don't tell me what it is, because I want to open it up on camera for you guys. But first, I'm going to show you just 2 more products really quickly. This is for a silk dyeing project that we've got coming up. We have a silk dyeing kit. These are for, I think, the resist medium. And this is the resist. So I think that you use this in order to create resist lines, and then you can fill those different spaces with your silk dye. So I'm really excited to try this out. This is going to work really great with our Middle Ages unit that's coming up. Okay, time for this mystery bag. First of all, the bag is adorable. Look at how cute it is. And inside you get, you get a lot of stuff. Now, the reason why I got this, and a little bell. That's super cute. Now, how cute is this? Oh, I love this. That's adorable. The reason why I got this little silk grab bag, scrap bag, is so that we could cut these up, kind of like I showed you at the beginning of the video, the plant dyed silks. I think I'll just keep those just as play items, and I'll use these ones. It's really staticky today, check that out. Cool. And I'll use these ones so that we can cut pieces of them for our peg dolls and our finger puppets. So that's why I got these, and that's really cute. Some of them are printed. You get a rainbow color assortment. And I love the bag. The bag is adorable. So now you know what's inside one of these grab bags, in case you were wondering. I have to admit that it is more difficult. I just popped that right off. It is more difficult to work with silk when you're doing the finger puppets and the peg dolls. It's a little bit easier to work with the felt, but I wanted to show you that as well. All right, so it's time to dive into another box. So I'm just gonna clear some stuff here and bring the next box in. All right, I emptied out that box, so let's dive into these things. And the first thing I want to show you is the Beeswax Honeycomb Candle Rolling Kit. We purchased this one about a year ago, and my kids loved it. It was so much fun to do. I want to show you the colors for this one. It comes in these beautiful rainbow colors. This is a quick activity, and if you want this activity to last longer, I would recommend cutting the sheets down to smaller pieces, and that way you can roll more of them. The problem that we've had is trying to burn them. When you roll them really tightly, they will burn a little bit cleaner and longer, and if you have them really loose, they burn very quickly. And you just want to make sure that you put them in something that's going to protect your surface. I also have this set here, really beautiful colors. And we also did this same one last year. My kids, once we started doing this, my kids loved it. Once we started rolling candles, they just wanted to do them. The thing is that you want to do this either on a warmish day, or you can use a hairdryer and kind of warm up the wax so that it's not too brittle. And the ones that we got from Nature Watch, we got, they were smaller, and they came like in this natural beeswax color, and those were a lot of fun to roll as well. So there's a couple different places where you can find these, and the only thing is just trying to burn them in a way that doesn't get them all over the place. We also are replenishing our supply of this really beautiful tissue paper. This is art tissue paper, and so these colors will bleed when you add water to them, so you can just do a variety of projects with them, either dry or you can add water to them. It's different than the tissue paper that you're going to find to wrap gifts with. We are also getting some more of our crayons here, the stockmar crayons. If you have been watching any of our recent tutorials on form drawing, you know that my son's set is getting quite small. So we went ahead and got another set of both the block and the stick crayons for him. And he's 11, so he should be kind of outgrowing this, but he's really enjoying doing the things that I'm doing with my 6-year-old. So I went ahead and got him another set, and that way we can keep the ones that are getting small for just other free drawing activities, and we'll just replace the ones that are in his little crayon roll, his little crayon kit. All right, so other things that we are getting that we've gotten before. Oh, actually, this is a little different. Actually, let me put this aside and show you this one first, because this one is one that we've gotten before. These are really thin sheets of wax, and they come in like the most beautiful colors. I love them. And so you can use these to decorate wooden eggs, which my daughter did, and it was okay, but I wasn't crazy about the project as much. The thing that she really loves to do, though, is use these little cutouts, these little punches, and you can make these different designs. And I think you could probably use those to decorate the eggs as well. She likes to punch them out. There's also a set of these punches available at a Child's Dream, and she really enjoys using them. And then when we're done, it comes in all these different shapes. I have this little box here that keeps all the remnant pieces of wax once we're done, because you can see, like, after a while it just gets kind of gross. So what we'll do with these actually is when we're doing a modeling project, we'll use these for the core and then we'll use the new wax in order to model the outside. So I don't throw out any of this wax, I keep it all, and then it ends up getting reused in our future projects. And you can see that in the model of the earth that we did to show the different layers of the earth. We used our modeling clay to do that, or modeling wax actually. All right, so let me put these ones aside. And so my daughter loves these. So I went ahead and got her another set so that she could use them with her projects. But I saw this set, and this set was one that I hadn't seen before. I think it's the same, only they are the large sheets. Yeah, so it's the same thin wax, but these are the really large sheets. And so you could probably do like a ton of different projects with them. And oh wow, yeah, look at that. We've never done any of these ones. Those look really beautiful. Really beautiful. And we've kept it really simple, but there's a lot that you can do with these. So let me put these aside and show you something else. Let me actually get this out of the way, the things that have a lot of reflection here. These ones this is the wool. I got them in these really beautiful fall colors because we used up our supply of wool top for our felting projects that we did in the fall. We did a number of felted pumpkins, and they are a really easy, simple project. So if you're new to needle felting, then that's a really great project to start out with, and my kids can do it really easily. So we'll definitely be doing that again next year. So I went ahead and I got more of those colors. We also got more of our wool felt, and which I already showed you those ones before, but I also want to show you, before I show you this other one, that you can also get this little card sheet that shows all the different colors of felt that a child's dream carries. It has all the names, it has little sample pieces, and I think this is really a great thing if you are going to be doing a lot of projects with the felt and you want to make sure that you're ordering the correct color, or just to have an idea of the colors that are available. They do differ a little bit when you're looking at them online versus getting them in person. So this is for the Holland Felt. This is the felt that I use the most often. It is a thin felt. It comes in beautiful colors. It's really durable. It lasts really well. It ages really well as well, because my kids play with the little finger puppets that we make with this, and it looks fabulous after years of use, as opposed to the polyacrylic felt that you're going to find at the craft stores. That just doesn't really look good after a while. This is for the 3mm thick wool felt. This is not a product that I use often, but I want to see that the colors that they carry. And you can also see when you get one of these cards, you get a sample of the felt, and this is really helpful. You can see that there is quite a difference between the 1mm and the 3mm. That is pretty substantial. So I want to show you both of those. One of these is from a previous haul, so I didn't get that one this time. Okay, for more felt, this is actually one that I haven't purchased before, to the best of my knowledge, unless I purchased it years ago and I forgot about it, which is possible. This is the organic plant dyed felt. Look at these colors. They are beautiful. Let me compare them to the spring set. The spring set colors are probably the best match for it. So you can see that the colors here are pretty comparable to the spring set. The difference that I am seeing between the organic plant dyed felt versus the Holland Felt is really in the texture and the feel of the felt itself. These seem really soft. It seems a little bit more rustic, and these just seem a little bit more I guess not as rustic. I'm sorry. I'm at a loss at how to describe them more, but I will have a video on felt comparison, and I'll be able to tell you more about the two different kinds coming up on that video. The other thing I want to show you is the different kinds of yarn that a child's dream carries for the purpose of doll making. Now, I actually don't use really hardly any of these, but I do use the wool yarn, the Lamb's Pride, but I try to avoid using the worsted weight. I prefer the bulky weight. With the Lamb's Pride worsted weight, you have it a little bit tighter. It's just more condensed. The worsted weight also on occasion has it looking a little bit more like this. This is still the worsted weight, but this appears to be a little bit more, I'm sorry, you can't really see that very well. Let's do it like this. This appears to be a little bit more like the bulky weight. I prefer the bulky weight when I'm doing hair for my finger puppets, but you can see that you can compare them a little better right here, even though this is still the worsted weight. The other options you have are this loop yarn here, which I've never used before, but I think I've seen this on the larger dolls, the ones that are stuffed and stitched. And then you also have this one over here, this smooth mohair yarn, which is really nice. I might consider using that in the future for our finger puppets and maybe even the peg dolls. So anyway, I wanted to show you this because on my channel and with my tutorials, you're always going to see almost always going to see the Lamb's Pride yarn, and I prefer the bulky versus the worsted weight, but I wanted to show you the different colors that are available when you are purchasing them for hair color. And I haven't ever purchased the rusty red. I love the gold, and this is probably one of my favorite colors for hair right here. And then the super white one, which is not even on here, but like super, super white. I like that as a hair color too. Anyway, let's move on. Did I show you this already? I can't remember. This is a foam pad that you use when you're doing needle felting. Now, I already have 2 of them. And the one that we got, it's similar to the kind that you'll find at a craft store. It's a little bit more bouncy and smushy. And so I went ahead and I wanted to get this one to try it out to see if it's easier or different when we're doing our needle felting. And plus now, each of us can have it because my daughter, who is 6, will needle felt with us, and my 11-year-old, and then myself. And this makes it a little bit easier when we all have our own set of tools so we can all craft together. All right, I want to show you the origami paper. We got some of this in our last haul. I can't even remember when we got this. And my daughter loves using, that didn't even cut. My daughter loves using this paper for just her craft paper projects. Oh my, that just doesn't want to open up. Okay. I want to show you this because it looks like there are no colors there at all, but there are beautiful colors. Okay, so actually this is different than I thought it was. This is actually kite paper, and we use our kite paper for our paper sun catchers, and this is just a little tutorial book on how to make them. And here's like a sample of the ones that we get that are a bit larger. So I actually thought that these were the non-translucent paper for origami, but I'm actually even more thrilled that it's the translucent ones. I am so glad that I purchased the wrong one because I prefer these far more for a couple of reasons. One, my daughter can still use these for all of her craft projects, but also we can use these for our paper sun catchers. So when I purchased the origami paper to begin with, the other kind that's like this, only it's just paper, it's not the translucent kind, I did not purchase the book that goes along with it, and I thought, well, this is probably going to help us out with our projects because my daughter has been asking me about this and I don't know how to do any of these things, and so a book like this is going to help us out. So I'm really excited to do some of these things with her because the paper sun catchers, some of the folds are a little, it's not that they're complicated, but they're tedious, and you have to do so many of them. Like when you're doing a star, you got to do like 4 or 8 of them, and you're doing multiple folds with each corner, that sometimes it gets a little bit tedious, and my daughter can maybe do half a star before she starts to just give up on the project. But I'm thinking that this might be hopefully a little bit easier since there might be less folds in order to get to the project that you are looking to do. We'll see. Something else that's new for us are these straw stars, and I have seen these at a Child's Dream for a long time, and we never got them. And so and also I got additional straws both in the colored one and in the neutral. And this one comes with a book on how, wow, look at that, on how to make them. This is all, oh great, and it comes with the tool. This is so exciting. We haven't, and do they also come in English too? Oh, maybe this is, this is how to read that, because I won't be able to read this one. Anyway, we are looking forward to trying this out. This will be a great winter project. This is new for us, so look for some tutorials on how to make these. Neat. All right, well, this will take a little bit of time to figure out how to use, but I am excited, and I bought extra just because I figured even if we end up, you know, not using them for this project, I thought it would be great for my daughter to have some materials available for her different craft projects. All right, let's get through to the last box. Actually, let me just show you a couple of things here that got pushed aside. We went ahead and got some more Felty Needles, and they are carefully packaged here. And this is an assortment pack because I wasn't sure. You know, felting is still kind of fairly new to me. So I went ahead and I got an assortment pack for the needles, and then we can try them out and see the kind that work well for us. All right, so let me put these aside. And then we got these in a previous haul, and I loved the colors and the quality so much. I went ahead and I got another set. Look how beautiful these are. And these are the DMC ones, so you know that it's going to be good quality. I really like the color assortment as well. And then along the same lines, I thought we would give the silk embroidery thread a try. This is new for us. I'm really excited about this one. This is really pricey though. That's $5.50 for this much. And these ones at the craft store run you about 50 cents each, I believe. So this is, you know, for the person who really wants this, you know, this is wool and silk, 50% wool and silk. So I say the professional. All right, let's get into the last box here. We have some more wool. This is Cordell Roving, and this will be for our felting projects with like different animals and things like that. And then we have yarn. I'm so excited about this. My kids went ahead and picked all the colors, and they have the whole rainbow here. And I know the blues look the same, but I think, are they the same? Let's see, bulky, huh. Either I mistakenly bought two, or no, this one's different. That's what I thought. This one, oh, that's so beautiful. This one is multicolored. It's kind of a variegated blue, so pretty. And same with the pink here. It's a little hard to see, but you can see there's a darker strand right there. And same with this purple. Oh my goodness, that color is just beautiful. But here are the rainbow colors. Put that in rainbow color. There we go. Look how gorgeous that is. Okay, so this is for a first grade project that is coming up. It's a knitted ball. It's one of the first projects you'll do in a Waldorf school. It's really easy to do, and we went ahead and got the rainbow colors in order to do that. And of course, my 11-year-old will participate in that as well. And then I got the white. I was telling you earlier how much I like the white for hair. You can see that it's not here, but this is bulky. And let me pull a strand out here to show you the difference. Oops, did I pull this out in the wrong place? Oh my, which way am I going? There we go. Okay, so you can see that it is quite a bit bulkier. Well, not quite a bit, but noticeably bulkier. And I prefer the bulky for knitting for my beginners when they're knitting, and I'm really always a beginner knitter. And also for hair. This one works really well for hair, and I love the color. So anyway, all right, so I only have just a couple more pieces of felt here. So I've got enough felt for us for a long time. There are plenty of projects you can already see on my channel in which we use that beautiful felt for. So please check them out. You can see some of the projects that we've done with these beautiful products. And if you want to see what we're up to on a daily basis, you can also find me on Instagram at Pepper and Pine. I almost forgot to show you what our little peg doll looks like at the end, and you can definitely see that there's a bit of shine and sealant on that. That is so cool. We're going to go and do that to our peg dolls now.